Capricorns, and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you're on my channel, my name is Vanessa Somuayina and welcome to the fam. So guys, in today's pick a card reading, we will be discussing the next big unexpected changes that are coming towards you. This could be in regards to people entering your life, a change in your career, a breakup, or another type of unexpected incident. And in order to help you figure out exactly what these next big changes are, I have prepared 4 groups that you can choose from, and I would like you to pick one of these 4 groups intuitively. So just go with whichever crystal that you feel really vibes and resonates with you. And if you absolutely cannot make up your mind as to which crystal to choose, then feel free to tune into 2 or more readings, because on some occasions your personal reading may be a mixture of multiple groups. So the 4 crystals that I have prepared for you today are as follows. We have the Cognac Calcite representing group number 1. We have the Labradorite sphere, which represents group number 2. We have the Amethyst, which represents group number 3, as well as the Shadow Angel Aura Quartz, which represents a group number 4. But of course, the timestamps to all 4 groups can be found down below in the comment section, as well as in the description box. So I want to keep this intro really short and to the point so we can spend more time within your individual readings. So I will be starting off with the first group, which corresponds to the Cognac Calcite, and to all of my other fabulous groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello group number 1 and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Cognac Calcite group number 1. Let's do a quick close-up of your stone. It is absolutely beautiful. This is a very revitalizing piece of raw calcite, and why I say very revitalizing is because the deeper the color, the rarer the stone, and also the more expensive that it is. I will leave the link to these pieces of raw Cognac Calcite down below in the description box, because I do sell really big chunks of them on my website in my crystal store. But let's move into your reading to figure out what big unexpected changes are coming for you. So we have the shadow as well as the threshold. So one thing that I can see for you, group number 1, is that a big unexpected change is kind of like lurking in the shadows. It's not yet completely clear what it is to you, but I can see here in the threshold that this change is going to come in an instant. So it's not going to be a change that happens gradually. It's going to be like taking a step out of the doorway into the nature, into freedom, into a completely different world. So let's figure out exactly what this change entails and in which area of your life it's going to be affecting you. So we have the Queen of Cups. In the Queen of Cups, I see that emotionally is where you're going to feel affected, but not in a negative way, as the Queen of Cups is not only very confident, but the Queen of Cups is also the queen of nurturing, of taking care of herself as well as others. So do know that those are the type of elements that you are going to be embodying during this change. Next, we have the Ace of Swords. So one thing that I can see in the Ace of Swords is that the changes that are coming for you are mental changes, mental epiphanies that make you feel a certain way emotionally. So having certain mental epiphanies really just gives you an increase in maturity, as well as an increase in confidence in yourself and your capabilities. Do know here that the Ace of Swords represents a fresh idea and new beginnings. So if you, for example, have always felt like you wanted to see through a business idea, I want you to know here in the Ace of Swords that your opportunity is coming, group number 1, and your great idea is just still waiting. It's just still kind of in the dark. You're unaware of it being processed. You're unaware of it being created in the little factory that is your brain, but it is on its way and it's going to impact your life greatly. Next, we have Connect with Earth. Now, group number 1, I can see here in Connecting with Earth that the bigger you get when it comes to success, the more successful that you become, the more you really kind of want to get away from any concrete jungle, from any type of technological overload. You want to stay away from your phone, your laptop. You kind of just want to connect more with Earth, with nature, and with where we come from, with what is the most natural habitat for human beings that we once lived in for a very long time before we now have gotten used to and adapted to this modern society that we're in. Next, we have flow like water. So group number 1, in flow like water, I can see here that you're going down a space of change where you feel like you are more in alignment with who you are, more in alignment with a part of you that is now able to flow. So if you feel like your chakras are blocked, if you feel like your energetic centers are just not functioning the way that they should, and this can come out in many different ways. If, for example, your throat chakra is clogged, this may show itself by you frequently having like throat aches, throat pains, and just problems speaking overall. If you feel like, for example, your solar plexus chakra is clogged, do know that that can often result in feeling kind of lonely, feeling a little bit like there's no one who you can count on, and maybe also just physically feeling pain in that area of your body. So look out for those different blockages and what they may mean, and know that them coming back to a flow state because of this great idea that we have in the Ace of Swords is one of the big changes that's coming next for you, group number 1. So it's a very positive type of change. Next, we have positive affirmations. So affirmations are going to be a part of your life, or should I say are going to be a part of your life again if you once were heavy into affirmations but then kind of forgot about them or fell off of the bandwagon. That's completely okay, group number 1. We all have times in our lives where we're, for example, consistently cultivating positive habits and consistently getting up early, being productive, but then something may happen and we fall off the wagon and we fall out of the routine, we fall off the bandwagon, and all of a sudden we have to cultivate those habits again. And that is where I can see here in positive affirmations that just reminding yourself that you are brave, you are beautiful, you love yourself, and you're going to show yourself that love is something that's coming back and is just one of these things that seems really little, and it almost seems too good to be true to think to yourself that a few positive affirmations could change your entire life and existence. But that is one thing that I see here that is going to make a big change and impact in your world, group number 1. Next, we have the King of Wands. So in the King of Wands, I can see people looking up to you. I can see people kind of like wanting to get closer to you, clambering onto you, looking for your acceptance, looking for you to make them feel good. That is one thing that I can see in the King of Wands. So you can see this very clearly here, how you are this power figure, this power symbol, and everybody around you feels like they are smaller, like they are maybe less worthy, and like they look up to you. So I can definitely see that there is a demand for your energy. I see that one of the changes coming for you, group number 1, is just this feeling of others wanting to be accepted by you, others wanting for you to praise them, and others seeking for your advice. I see here in the Magician that this is coming from a place of people feeling like you have everything under control. So this could be something that just seems that way on the surface, group number 1, if internally you're going through a lot, but externally you're just kind of putting up a strong facade. That explains why the Magician has showed up in conjunction to the King of Wands, and why this type of front is attracting people who feel like, hey, you have your life under control. Could you please show me how to get my life under control? So it could be kind of like a facade for a situation that you're hiding from. But in the Magician, I do also want you to know that if you feel in full control, if that is not what you're going through, if you feel like your life is actually in a good place, then there is so much that you can learn and just so much that you can catch up to. So the best way for me to really explain this is if during another period in your life, getting to that next target of yours would have taken, say, a year, now it's going to just take you a fraction of that time. That is one thing that I can see in the Magician, so make use of that, group number 1. Next up, we have the Page of Pentacles. So in conjunction to the change that we said coming with your great groundbreaking idea, I can see here in the Page of Pentacles that it's going to put you in the starting point of changing your financial status. So this could be you kind of being financially in a more difficult place to later on be in a better place. So just think of a startup. You might have to invest some money. You may have to kind of dip into money that you did not want to dip into. It could be savings, it could be money that you just put aside for this project, and initially your finances are going to plummet a little bit. But do know here in the Page of Pentacles that the opportunity to grow is there, as well as the potential. Every King of Pentacles started out as a Page of Pentacles. Don't forget that, group number 1. Next we have the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is a card that had already showed up for you up here, where we had in this other tarot deck the Queen of Cups. We have this energy even more solidified for you, group number 1, and I do want you to know here in the Queen of Cups that it is important for you to take care of your own emotions and to remind yourself that you can't solve everyone's problems, okay? It is important for you to know that you're not the fire department. Just because somebody else is on fire doesn't mean that it is for you to scramble to wake up in the middle of the night to put that fire out. Group number 1, it is important for you to make sure that there is no emotional leakage. Let me show you right here. The Queen of Cups makes sure that her cup stays full because she knows that if she is not doing well, she can't help anybody else. And that is one thing that you should be looking into. Next, we have making a vision board as well as energy work. So energy work is something that we had already mentioned, realigning your chakras. That is exactly what energy work is. So we actually didn't really need this card, but it's just another confirmation for you, group number 1, that that is something that can greatly affect your life if you actually engage in it. Energy work is not just going to fall into your lap, it's something that you have to seek out. Furthermore, I can see here in the vision board that things are going to change according to the vision that you have, and creating a vision board, creating a goal board can help you really move into the direction that you desire. So group number 1, this is the reading that I received for you. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I will leave the resources as promised down below in the description box. I'm sending you so much positive vibes as well as prosperity, and I'll catch you in another one of my readings. Hello, group number 2, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Labradorite sphere. Now, group number 2, this is such a beautiful, mystical, magical stone. I just posted about it on my Instagram. Make sure that you follow me. Look at that. Depending on how the lighting hits it, which, you know, my studio lighting doesn't even do it any justice, it changes its color from magical hues of blue to greens to even orange shades. This is such a beautiful stone. The Labradorite is honestly one of my favorite stones of all times because it is so magical and mystical. So I will leave the link to these exact Labradorite spheres down below in the description box. Because I did post them on my Instagram first, I have very few pieces left in my online store. So if you are interested in one of these really rare Labradorite spheres, then make sure that you act quickly. The link will be down below in the description box. So let's move into your reading in order to figure out exactly what big changes are coming next for you. So group number 2, we have the fault line as well as the bardo. So I see something big coming to an end. I see that out of all of the other groups, yours is really the most life-changing. I can see in the fault line that something really big is going to come apart, and furthermore in the bardo, that is where I see the ending. That is where I see that something is coming to a conclusion. But with every ending comes a fresh beginning. So let's figure out exactly what's going to end and exactly what fresh beginnings are going to come out of this big change for you, group number 2. So we have the Traveler. I see you moving into a new direction. Group number 2, I want you to know that the Traveler shows up in readings to guide you in a fresh direction and to remind you to be unafraid when embarking on a fresh trip, when embarking into a different adventure. And it is important for you to stay confident and to remind yourself of the fact that these travels, moving in a new direction, this is all for the highest good of you. Next, we have the Protection Guardian. Do you know here in the Protection Guardian that you are being watched over and you're being protected? Group number 2, there is no reason for you to have your guards up. There is no reason for you to be afraid about this huge change that's coming for you. Do know in the Protection Guardian that the universe is already putting a kind of cloak of protection around you, and it's important for you to drop your shields and your armor because you may just end up hurting yourself. Next, we have the medicine guard. So I can see here in the medicine guard that healing information is being brought to you. Now, group number 2, if you've been through a lot of trauma in your life, if you've just been through a lot of difficult situations, do know here that the big change that's coming for you may have to do with just that and the healing of those traumas, finally closing up that wound. If you've ever had a wound and you've picked at the scab a few times and it started bleeding again, one thing that I can see here in the medicine guardian is that you're finally going to receive that ointment, that healing energy that will close that wound up once and for all. Then we have the eagle. So in the eagle, group number 2, I can see you viewing things from a different perspective, from a higher perspective moving forward. So one thing that is coming for you within this big change is you changing how you view things, how you view yourself as well as the world, and also a lot of healing. So instead of putting a lot of blame on the perpetrator or the person who hurt you, you are now understanding why that happened. So if, for example, a parent or a close friend really hurt you and that scarred you deeply, you are now beginning to see things from a higher perspective, from a perspective where you have removed yourself from who you are. You have removed yourself from your position and you're seeing things from a more objective standpoint and looking at that person and feeling sorry for the fact that they felt the need to hurt you, or you in a way understand why they put you through that because you know that they didn't have a great history themselves, that they maybe had problems with their parents, with their siblings, with their partner, and that's why they decided to lash out on you. Now, group number 2, you are by no means excusing that person's behavior, but it gives you an explanation and a sense of closure that you're giving yourself because you know that you're not going to receive that closure from them. And that is especially important and empowering when you know that somebody is never going to admit that they did you wrong, and kind of waiting for closure from them means that you will be forever hurt, right? That the wound will forever be open and bleeding, and you're empowering yourself to know that you can heal yourself. You don't need to wait for them to step out of their comfort zone and admit what they did wrong. Next, we have making a meal. So on to a little bit of a more lighter topic of conversation, group number 2. I can see here that big differences are coming for you in your eating habits. So we did already have the card of the medicine guardian and being open to healing information. And I do also see here in making a meal that's going to kind of transpire into your eating habits. So you're open to different cuisines, you're open to different ways of eating, to different diets, and using them in order to heal yourself and to try out these fresh meals, try out different ways of cooking, of nourishing yourself. Furthermore, in Sing, I can see here that music is a big thing. It's going to help you through the changes as well as calm you a little bit. You may feel especially creative if you are a musician or you've always wanted to write a song. Going through this breakup, going through kind of like disassociating yourself from the hurt that somebody created in your life is going to leave you especially inspired to create song lyrics that really hit deep, that really kind of like make you think and almost make you feel close to tears, if you will. But let's move a little further into your reading to see what else is coming with these big changes. We have health checkup. Now, group number 2, your health is really concerned because it's been brought up quite a few times. So try not to shy away from getting that health checkup that you know that you're overdue for, especially if it's something that you feel you should have done, but you haven't gotten around to it because you're afraid of the outcome, or you're afraid that it might cost a lot of money to pay for that health checkup, especially if something isn't okay. But group number 2, it is highly essential for you to do it now in order to prevent any further ailment or any further suffering. Because if there's even just something small off, like a vitamin deficiency, you can easily solve that by just taking one little vitamin a day. Best case scenario, right? And that is the scenario for a lot of people. But if you allow it to continue to impact you and deteriorate and kind of negatively affect your body, the long-term consequences may cost you a lot more than overcoming the fear of calling up that doctor's office and making an appointment for a health checkup. Also, don't feel like because we are in a difficult situation right now globally that any ailments that you have aren't worthy of being looked at or aren't that important, because there are a lot of people suffering and going through things. Do know that there are a lot of practitioners in different fields that right now are experiencing a lack of people coming because people feel like, well, there are greater problems in the world. I'll just wait till people have more time. I'll just go and do this checkup when I'm not going to be clogging up someone's office, when there may be someone else who needs their services even more. So especially if this is a mental ailment or you've been going through something psychologically, speak to someone. There are a lot of practitioners still that have very open calendars and that can help guide you in the right direction and prevent things from getting worse. Next, we have temperance. So I can definitely see here with intemperance more clarity, okay? A clearer mind and making that clear distinction between what you're going to put in your body and what not. So if you before enjoyed maybe a little bit of alcohol every now and then, one thing that I can see is you just creating that barrier, creating that line and ending it, okay? Just saying to yourself, I barely ever have any anyways, I might as well just cut it out of my life completely. The same goes for example with caffeine. You know, if that is something that you feel you need in order to get out of bed, you need a coffee, you need a tea, whatever it is, I can see here in temperance that you're looking at that from a more skeptical standpoint. And while the whole of society kind of accepts different types of substances such as caffeine, such as alcohol, such as tobacco, you are really changing your mind and your perspective about that, especially the more that you realize that the industries who create these substances are often the ones who make it socially acceptable because they have different campaigns, they have different people that are in positions of power that tell the general public, hey, this is not that bad of a substance, it is socially acceptable. So one thing that I can see here is you really just doing your own research on a lot of topics and empowering yourself in that way. Next, we have the Knight of Swords. Now, the Knight of Swords that did come out of the pile upside down. I don't know if you noticed that. So theoretically, the Knight of Swords would be like this. I do want you to know that the Knight of Swords upside down is a symbol for you being in a little bit of an internal dilemma and conflict. And that internal dilemma is most likely coming from a place where you're thinking, hey, but wait, isn't there are certain things in place in our society to protect us? And why I'm not like openly saying it is because I want this video to get out to as many people as possible. I do not want it to get like demonetized or taken away from having the reach that it should, but I can definitely see here in the Knight of Swords that critical thinking is a big thing for you coming up, and it's going to change how you see society as a whole, as a structure, and how you're going to see the people, the very people who are supposed to protect us, seeing them in a completely different light and realizing that a lot of people are opportunists in positions of power that maybe shouldn't be there. And this type of free thinking is something that I see here in the Eagle that allows you to see things from a bigger, higher perspective, that up until this point, all of these things were still really hidden to you. But the more you get onto the right plane with your body, okay, when you get that health checkup and you know everything is fine, when you kind of make sure that you're nourishing your body with all the right nutrients and supplements, vitamins, minerals, the more you feel in tune with yourself and you feel very clear because you're not consuming those substances that we spoke about in temperance, the more empowered you're going to feel to think critically as well as act out of a new place. Act like a completely new person, because now you have new information, you know who to trust, and you know who to boycott. Now, group number 2, we are at the end of your reading, and I truly hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know down below in the comment section what hit home for you, and also leave a little whale emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that this was the group of your choice. So group number 2, I'm sending you so much prosperity, and I'll catch you in another one of my videos. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose this natural piece of amethyst. It is so beautiful, so gorgeous. Here's a quick close-up of it, and also it just really resonates well with this big piece of amethyst that I have over here. I will leave the link to the smaller pieces of amethyst from my online store in the description box, but also do know that if you're looking for a show-stopping crystal, a really big piece of amethyst, bigger than this one actually, we have a bunch of those on the website as well, and we ship them everywhere in the world, no extra shipping cost for you. It is shipped with DHL. It will arrive at your house in just 2 business days, and with all the really big pieces, we have the exact photos on the website of the piece that you will receive. And if you need any extra photos, you can always email my company, contact@bowlife.com, in order to receive more photos if you want that extra peace of mind, or you're looking for it to be in a very specific place in your house. But let's move into your reading, group number 3. So let's see what big changes are coming for you. We have the Healer as well as the Village. Now, group number 3, I can definitely see here that there's a lot of change that is coming in your immediate surrounding, in your friend circle, in the circle that is your family. And I do see here in the Healer that there's some renewal that's coming. We have this 3-headed snake in the Healer, and the snake is one of those eternal symbols of renewal, of rebirth, as well as coming to this type of discovery of a new way of life. So that is one thing that I can see in the Healer in correspondence to the Village. Furthermore, do know here that it seems like everyone's changing, not just you, but also your family and your friends are experiencing some big changes that you're going through together. So let's figure out more details about those. We have the 3 of Cups. So I can see here in the 3 of Cups more of a unity, spending more time with one another, but maybe somebody getting married or getting engaged in close proximity to you. That is one thing that I can see here in the 3 of Cups. Let's see what else we got. We got the Ace of Pentacles. So I can definitely see here in the 3 of Cups that there's this emotional unity that is being formed, and I see in the Ace of Pentacles that this is going to lead to new ideas for business. This is going to lead to new ideas as to how to get better financially, how to build more financial freedom, more financial prosperity. That is one thing I see in the Ace of Pentacles. Next, we have the 9 of Pentacles, group number 3. Now, the 9 of Pentacles did show up reversed, and I do want you to know, group number 3, the 9 of Pentacles reversed, that this means you have to make sure that you're looking out and not spending too frivolously, group number 3, on any investments that somebody close to you may suggest. So whether it's to invest in stocks or a business idea, I do see here in the 9 of Pentacles in correspondence to the Ace of Pentacles that the way that you have been investing and managing your money up until this point is the way that you should continue, at least for the next little bit, and to not allow anybody to talk you into investing in something new. Okay, stay put with how you have been managing your finances so far for right now. I can see here in the King of Cups that it's going to be hard to say no to this person. It's going to be hard to kind of like, you know, tell someone that you don't want to be a part of their idea or their venture, but you can do it, group number 3. You just have to put yourself in their shoes, in their position, and be gentle, okay? Use words that you know will go over well, but the most important thing for you is to really just not invest in anybody else's idea right now, either with real estate, either with starting up a completely new business. Stick to what you feel is right for you, or start something by yourself. I can see that venturing into any type of business idea is going to cause problems in the relationship that is otherwise really flourishing. So keep it on a positive note. Next, we have drinking tea. Now, group number 3, maybe tea is something that you've gotten in and out of, but I can definitely see that spoiling yourself to some beautiful aromatic tea is something that you can really use to not just settle into your space, but also to heal yourself and to make it a moment, to make it an experience. One of the most amazing brands for me is Cup of Tea, which is owned by a friend of mine actually. I will leave it linked in the description box. She has the most amazing selection of tea as well as accessories. I drink her tea almost daily, and it is just such a therapeutic me moment that I can only recommend you look into as well, group number 3. Next, we have looking to the stars. So celestial events are a great way for you to recharge yourself right now, and I see that as one of the big changes coming for you. One thing that I see is this thing with your zodiac sign where you feel as though you're resonating more with another sign for a little bit. You're resonating more with your moon sign or your rising sign. I can see here in looking to the stars that you're trying to find an explanation to why you are the way that you are, and looking into celestial events as well as your sign and where it's placed is a great way for you to do that. Next, we have meditation. And now group number 3, if you have fallen off of the bandwagon when it comes to meditation, get back into it. This is going to help you overcome any types of changes. This is going to help you to stay in a positive place with your friends and family members. Group number 3, your reading is the most favorable when it comes to your relationships, when it comes to the people who you're close to, but you also need to protect it. You have to ensure that, for example, if petty comments are made at a family gathering, that you don't let it affect you and get you out of your zone, get you out of your safe space, because that is just going to create unnecessary stress in the otherwise really thriving and flourishing relationships in your life. So next up, we have the seed. So I can definitely see here in the seed that right now is the moment for you to plant seeds for your future, but you have to do it alone, okay? This is again that thing where a family member may want you to plant your seeds with them, but group number 3, it is very important that you keep your own garden. And that is not because you're selfish, that is not because you don't trust them, but it is important for you to look out for yourself, because sometimes when we put our financial means or our ideas together with other people, we are not able to really harvest all of the blessings that we otherwise could if we would have done it ourselves. Because depending on what type of family member or friend this is, they may have another idea or different plans for the seed at some point, or they may, for example, pluck the fruit before it is ripe, before letting you know, and just kind of like run away with it, if you know what I mean, group number 3. So you're being warned to keep everything on a friendship level, but as soon as there are material things involved, try to distance yourself from people, because right now your ideas need your full attention. So next we have a few cards that popped out of the pile, which is Agape. We have the Queen as well as the Venom. So I can definitely see here in Agape as well as the Venom that you will see people's true colors. So for example, if somebody is trying to propose a business idea to you and you shoot them down, you say, no, I'm not really in the mood for that, that is where I can see in the Venom that that's where they're going to show their true colors. So the more somebody is upset about you not doing what they want you to do, the more you know that it was really the right idea, that it was really good for you to keep your distance. Because when somebody is trying to get you to engage in something and when you don't, they get mad, that's when you know it wasn't the right idea. But if somebody says, I respect your opinion, I respect that it isn't the right time, but let's try to connect when it is the right time, or let me know whenever you feel interested, and they really do leave it at that, that's when you can understand, okay, this person is actually a sensible human being that I could at some point consider myself working with. I can see in the Queen that just staying poised, staying yourself, not allowing anybody to get you out of character or to stress you to the point where you start yelling or you start like yelling profanity. Having these passive aggressive moments either via text or actually just telling somebody that they are really effing annoying, that is where I can see in the Queen that it is important for you to not even allow yourself to go to that place, because there is no point. Kindly decline, and do know that right now the big changes that are occurring for you are really positive changes in your relationships, and thinking that that means that you should jump straight to starting a huge venture or having a big responsibility in your life, such as a child, such as adopting another animal, that would just be fatal to the relationship, really, group number 3. Enjoy your relationships flourishing. Don't feel the need to add extra responsibility to them. Don't feel the need to make them bigger than they are right now. Everything is going to be perfect just in the very moment that you're experiencing it. So just know that in an attempt to do more, to create greater, to be closer to people, you may just miss the most beautiful and rewarding moments because you're so entangled in what's coming next. So be very mindful and try to live in the moment in all your relationships. Now, group number 3, this is the reading that I received for you. I truly hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Let me know down below in the comment section what hit home for you, and I'll catch you in another one of my videos. Actually, scratch that and leave a little snake emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that you made it to the end. We did, after all, have the healer, which is a 3-headed snake, show up within your reading, so make sure that you leave that emoji in the comment section. Now, group number 3, we are now at the end of your reading. I'm sending you so much love, and I'll catch you in another one of my videos. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the electroplated Shadow Angel Aura Quartz. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I know, hefty, a long name, but it is absolutely gorgeous. I love these stones. They're really rare. They shimmer in literally every color of the rainbow. So what this really is, it's actually just a piece of quartz crystal, a natural piece of quartz crystal that is coated, that is electroplated to look like this. So it is a natural crystal with color coding. I will leave the link to this crystal down below in the description box, as this is a crystal that I carry in my online store for anyone who's interested in more out there kind of va-va-voom stones. So let's move into your reading. We have the Gnosis as well as the box. So one thing that I can see here is thinking outside of the box, group number 4. I want you to know here in Gnosis that this is a sign that you are open to anything, accepting of anything, and thinking outside of the social norm. That is one thing that I see in the box. You're no longer going to be a part of this box. You're no longer going to be a part of a society that suppresses free thinkers or anybody who has an opinion. I definitely see you accepting opinions from others, but also making it very clear that if your opinion isn't accepted, then you have absolutely no desire to be around that type of crowd of people, because it is oppressive and it's trying to suppress the truth. Next, we have the sun. I can see here in the sun that the big changes that are coming for you, group number 4, are going to result in you enjoying more success as well as happiness. Now, group number 4, the sun is an awesome symbol, not just for happiness and joy, but also for a lot of bounty and prosperity coming into your life next. So I see that the more you're like this sponge, this dry sponge that's just been put in some sort of liquid that is just taking it all in, the more you become like that, the happier you are. So it's really you realizing that the more you listen, the more you're able to be happy, because you're no longer in the spotlight. You're no longer the one who is constantly trying to justify or say how they feel or say why they're feeling a certain way. You're just listening, taking in, and that is allowing you to learn, and that's allowing you to only share information when you find it really vital, when you know you're around an open-minded and free-thinking group of people, and otherwise you just keep your opinion to yourself when you know that you're around people who have already decided to misunderstand or misinterpret your words. So you're choosing very wisely who has access to your energy and who you're going to be actually spreading energy around. Next, we have the broken arrow. You embracing the energy of peace is really just what's coming next on your journey that's going to level you up, group number 4. So embracing the energy of peace is also embracing this energy, knowing that with some people, there is absolutely no sense, there is no point in trying to convince them of the truth or trying to convince them of how you meant something. With some people, you just need to let it go. And some people, you realize, also just like to hear themselves talk. They don't even want your opinion. They just ask you how you're doing just to say that they asked you how you're doing, but really they just want to revert back to themselves and talk about themselves. So one thing that I can see here is you being highly unbothered, group number 4, and just not taking that personally is life-changing for you. But let's see what other changes are coming. I see here in the warrior that you're very fearless and strong, and you're going to move forward without the fear of failure, without the fear of people not liking you. So you're embracing this sentiment, this emotion of peace, but at the same time, you're not gonna take shit from no one. And I'm gonna have to bleep that out, which I've already done, but do know, group number 4, that because you have this kind of very strong aura to you, this can be intimidating to some. I see here in the heart guardian that just allowing yourself to be loved is something that can be very hard when at the same time you're trying to be fearless and strong. But that's where you have to remind yourself that there's some people in your life who you can count on, who are always going to be there for you. Allow those in completely. Don't shut those out because you're shutting out narcissists, you're shutting out people who are just egocentrical, you're shutting out people who are toxic. Make sure that when you're shutting all of those doors, you don't accidentally shut doors to people who care about you, shut doors to people who you know will always be there for you, because sometimes having a very all or nothing type of mentality can bite you in the butt. Let's just put it that way. Next up, we have a read. So as we just said earlier in your reading, group number 4, you're all about listening. You're all about being that sponge that's just soaking up all the new information. And I see here in read that your reading list is going to grow rapidly. And I see that as a result of that, life is going to change for you. There are going to be big unexpected changes because you are subconsciously programming yourself to think differently. The more information you take in from people who inspire you, the more you become like them, because you really are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And I can see here in building strength that that is going to build a lot of mental strength for you. But because we had the warrior within your reading as well, group number 4, and the warrior represents somebody who's also physically very strong, I do see here that when it comes to increasing your muscle mass, there is a newfound motivation for you to stay fit and healthy physically. Next, we have being still. So being still is a highly therapeutic thing for you to do moving forward, group number 4. And I do want you to know that because you did choose the shadow angel aura cluster, this does show me that you might be a little bit all over the place. You might be a very extravagant type of person. You may be a big thinker, which is awesome, but for a lot of us big thinkers, we need to make just as much time as we're thinking big and we're being ourselves. We have to make time to be nobody, to be in no space, no time, nowhere, and just be, okay? Just exist, just be pure consciousness. That is one thing that I see here in being still that you're being called to connect with. Also, being still comes attached to the number 4, which group number 4 is clearly an important number for you right now, and it is a number that you may want to write down or look out for, as it may show up in a lot of synchronicities when these big changes are occurring for you. But let's move a little further into your reading, shall we? So let's see what other big changes are coming for you. We have the 4 of Pentacles, and now group number 4, we have the number 4 show up for you again. Now in the 4 of Pentacles, I see stability for you financially, but also you may be being a little bit stingy with yourself, which is where in the 4 of Pentacles, you're being called to kind of of allow yourself to enjoy life a little bit, to not be so hard on yourself, and to know that balance is something that is needed also financially. So just thinking of saving or worrying about money, that's not balance. Group number 4, create a budget, okay? So that you already know you have X amount to play with every month that you can spend on whatever you want to spend it on, even if it is an impulse buy, and put that aside for yourself so you're not feeling constricted. Furthermore, in the Knight of Cups, I can see that there may be someone coming into your life who's going to completely change your life and create this feeling of more stability emotionally as well as financially. The Knight of Cups I can see here is a water sign, for example, a Cancerian, a Pisces. Think Scorpio. That is the type of person that I can see coming into your life and giving you stability, making you feel like you've got somebody on your team, you've got somebody on your side who you can allow to love you wholeheartedly and fully. That is one thing that I see in conjunction to the Heart Guardian and the Broken Arrow. That moving forward, group number 4, when you love wholeheartedly, and you're going to let that person in 100%, and you're not going to regret it. I see here that this person means no harm, that this person is somebody who is going to allow you to feel more at peace and more at ease with your life, and who's going to continue to empower you to shut out the toxic people, to shut out the negativity. So this person is one of those big changes that's coming next for you. Now, group number 4, this is the reading that I received for you. I truly hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Leave a little flame emoji down below in the comment section, letting me and others know that you made it to the end of your reading, and I'll catch you in another one of my videos.